Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, and prepare yourself for the tale of Valorant's most puzzling and beloved rat, Cypher, the 5th agent to join the Valorant protocol and a true master of secrets. Now, this will be a deep dive on Cypher because he won a very cutthroat poll on my old channel that was doing just Valorant lore, in convincing fashion too. This means we'll be covering a bit more about Cypher in this video. Some of the things will not be fully based on his lore, like his unfortunate record of dying in nearly every cinematic trailer. Yeah, 6 times to be exact. We're covering as much things as I can find, so if I miss anything, comment them down below. So first, let's talk about his origins. Cypher's real name is Amir El Amari. Amir meaning prince, and El Amari has multiple meanings based on what language you're speaking, ranging from goddess to love and even princess in Arabic. The devs did mention that his true identity is quite juicy and that there's a reason why he remains hidden. A cool thing I haven't seen many people mention is that Astra knows who Cypher really is, or at least what he looks like.
Why, Cypher? Like you think I don't see you? I know who you are, man.
There's a chance that Omega Cypher may also be a different person under the mask too.
I honestly don't know who the Cypher on their side is. A real mystery. Who are you? Copy of me? Where did you come from?
I do want to point out that these voice lines could have been mentioned before he knew the existence of Omega Earth. But this is me kind of theorizing / having my own fan fiction. How cool would it be if Alpha Cypher was Amir, but Omega Cypher was Nora, pretending to be Amir with a voice changer? Plus, no one knows who's under that mask. So Cypher's real identity is still a mystery to us all. The Riot devs did mention that there are subtle differences between agents on Alpha and Omega Earth. Kind of like how Alpha Earth Jet has a scar on her chest, and as far as we know, Omega Jet doesn't have one. But then again, this is just like a theory / fan fiction that I have with the idea that Cypher gets to see Nora again. Regardless, Amir is a common name in Arabic countries, but how crazy would it be if this is a nod to his real origins? What if Cypher has ties to royalty? Only time will tell at this point. The devs did say that we'll know more about him in the future. Too bad that post was made nearly 4 years ago. Regardless, Cypher grew up in Morocco, Rabat to be specific. There are a handful of voice lines that let us know that at one point in time he was poor.
You think I don't know how to get by without money?
I also want to state that Cypher mentions his family quite a lot, a family that he had before joining the protocol.
I must survive to protect my family. I can't lose them. I can't feel that pain again. These imposters threaten everything. Nora.
Because of the way he talks about them, many believe that Cypher's family has perished. However, Riot and the Valorant devs have left that quite ambiguous. It has never been officially stated as fact in Valorant's story, and you can take certain hints as either that they are dead or still alive. For example, when Cypher is low on HP in game, he says,
Nora, I will see you again.
You can say that since Cypher is on the brink of death, that means he will see his family in the afterlife. Or you could say, despite being on death's doorsteps, he strengthens his resolve so he can keep seeing his family in the land of the living. Some Valorant agents kind of do a similar thing when the spike is about to explode. But another example that we can take is when he gets revived by Sage and says,
For a moment, I saw them.
One could say that he saw them in the afterlife, but you also have to remember that many people who claim to have near-death experiences state that they see their life flash before their eyes. And the same could have happened to Cypher. Fade's dossier also tells us that Cypher does have a little one, and that he hides his face from those closest to him. Fade ponders, what's another year without Nora seeing his eyes, or sharing a smile with your little one? This could lead one to believe that Cypher's family is still alive, because Fade says that he's actively hiding his face from those closest to him, which could be referring to his family and or the protocol too. The same protocol who I would assume is like a family to him as well. On the other hand, you could say that Fade threw a nasty jab at the fact that Cypher can no longer share a smile with his little one, nor with Nora, since they are no longer in the land of the living. The possibilities of interpreting these hints is endless. And chances are we won't really know the truth until Cypher reveals it to us. The man is really good at keeping and erasing secrets. It's one of the reasons why he's such an important part of the team. Cypher's ability to gather intel is truly world class, and what he can do with that information is equally impressive. This is thanks to his gadgets that are quite impressive despite KJ's snark comments.
Cypher, your homemade gadgets are so cute. Reminds me of some of my work in kindergarten.
The strands in his tripwires are nearly indestructible. It's the latching mechanism that makes it possible for people to destroy this gadget specifically. His cyber cage is perfect for blocking vision while giving info as to when someone is inside. You can briefly see images of Cypher inside of them, reminding you that Cypher is always watching. His spy cam can be placed almost anywhere and go invisible. His neural theft can hack into the tech of someone and reveal information on their team. These gadgets are just one of the many tools Cypher uses for the protocol. Sova states how he fully trusts his Cypher to handle a whole city.
Commander, the strike team to apprehend this blackmailer. You asked for my recommendations. Besides myself, we must send Cypher. No one else can handle surveillance of an entire city. Chamber can provide fire support from a vantage position. Breach has a history with extractions. It would be foolish not to take advantage. Neon can help cover ground quickly. Also, she needs a break from Killjoy. Those two have been cooped up in the lab for too long, and KO has agreed to pilot the Vulture. 5 on the ground, 1 in the skies. This is good. We will bring this threat to justice, Brimstone. You have my word.
And Jet believes Cypher can wipe her presence off the internet.
I don't care how many times Cypher needs to scrub my face off the web. I'm going out like everyone else. I know for a fact he can make it happen if you fund it.
This is the same Jet whose face has been plastered on major news channels because of what her double did in Venice, Italy, who was able to beat Phoenix and set off a spike explosion. It would take a Herculean feat to erase someone's presence who was at the epic center of all of this. But hey, Cypher knows a thing or two about achieving triumphs that rival ancient myths.
I am Prometheus, and you are just a god.
For those who don't know, Prometheus was a titan who stole fire from the gods and gave it to humanity, as a way to explain humanity's progress with technology, knowledge, and civilization. In a way, you can say that Cypher is the protocol's Prometheus. He takes valuable intel from others to help bolster the team. Him and Brimstone actually play a huge part in each agent's recruitment. Brim has access to a lot of info, while Cypher and Sova are great at tracking people down. Cypher also does background checks on those who join, and at times wipes traces of them off the planet. Cypher also has the ability to detect incursions, which are times when the Omega agents make their move on Alpha Earth.
I detect an incursion into our world. No, the other team is just very noisy.
This kind of leads me to wonder, why did Cypher even join the protocol? One might say it's because of Sage, who has a knack of reviving the dead, which could include Cypher's potentially deceased loved ones. However, you have to remember that Cypher joined the protocol before Sage, meaning that he was already persuaded before Sage could even be a factor. Of course, there is the good old-fashioned method of money, who you could say Cypher is a stickler about. There's also his dislike of Kingdom, which some on the protocol share with him.
What has Kingdom done to this town? However pretty their lies are, they're just sucking my city dry.
Another kingdom infestation. Well, fine. I'll just make sure to be extra collateral with my collateral damage.
Kingdom bleeds our planet once again. Too many scars to count.
The lies we've told this city. Just to pry it open and suck it dry.
What can we say? Enemy of my enemy is my friend. Then there's also the fact that Brimstone, who has a lot of information, could alert Cypher with it. At the current moment, these are just guesses and we don't really know why Cypher joined the protocol. What we do know though is that Cypher is the perfect definition of a rat. Someone who's willing to sell information for the right price.
Omen, I have the information you asked for. But my price? My price hasn't been paid yet.
Plus he has a nasty habit of borrowing people's items.
Think of it this way. The more radianites we take from them, the less I borrow from all of you. Extra incentive.
And yes, I'm really stretching the word borrow. And thanks to Fade's cinematic trailer, we know that one of his fears is being watched by others. But in a few of the player cards and trailers, we get insight into Cypher's hobbies. The man likes chess and has played a few rounds with Phoenix. He also likes poker too.
You forget, I always play high stakes.
I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise. A game about money and reading people, it's like Amir was born for this. Cypher also has a thing for expensive Moroccan tea based on what one of the narrative writers said, as well as this player card and voicemail left in patch 4.10.
Brimstone, we're out of those little coffee pod things in the common room. I don't use them, but when they're gone, everyone starts drinking my tea. And please understand, it's very expensive tea. Thank you.
And I'm not lying. In the future, I'm gonna tell my kids that this is what we call the aura. 500 likes on this video and we'll pick a different agent to do a deep dive on. But speaking of player cards, we'll go over each and every single one of them. Even the ones that have nothing to do with his lore, since this is a deep dive video. The first one I want to talk about is called Duality. I find this one interesting because it's most likely showing us how Omega agents travel to Alpha Earth. We have Viper, Yoru, Phoenix, Jet, and Cypher himself here. This bad boy came out in June 7th, 2021, and is a reference to the end of the Duality lore cinematic. What is interesting here is that we see a place that is mostly flat with purple mountains and hills. Looks familiar to anyone? This could just be my tinfoil hat on too tight, blocking blood flow to my brain. But back in 2021, what if the writers always had plans on us seeing this place? And we're going to see it again in 2025. The Omega agents could be using the Interverse to travel between worlds. And this area could be what we saw in the Initiate 25 trailer. However, I want to save that train of thought for another video. So be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on that one, potentially. Here we have a player card titled Redeemer's Folly, where we see a shadowy person in a trench coat against a blinding white light. We can assume that it's Cypher for now. I want to focus on the name of the player card, Redeemer's Folly. A Redeemer is someone whose actions atones for a past mistake, while folly basically means a foolish action. I think this can give us insight into either Cypher's backstory and or potential future, as someone who tried or is currently trying to atone for past actions in a foolish way. We also see him in the episode 9 Act 1 player card called Lost and Found, which is centered around Omen. There's also Viper and Vice's Rose here too, letting us know that everyone in this player card are deeply connected. Viper basically created the Omen that we know today. Cypher helped Omen find the Scion's base, which led them to Vice. If a character named Omen is speaking, it's wise to listen.
Commander, I continue to spend my time contemplating recent events. Our encounters with ISO, Hourglass, and now our newest recruit. The event with Viper, our natures, the way our paths have entangled. This must all mean something. There must be something meaningful at the end of this thread. I intend to keep pulling it.
There's also the Legion player card, which shows us Omega Earth's POV. If you didn't know, on Alpha Earth, these groups of individuals are called the Valorant Protocol, while on Mirrored Earth, they're called the Valorant Legion, who are seen as heroes. You can see the words Earth's greatest defense here. The warm-up player card is about that time when the agents grouped up together to beat max bots, showing that it's better to work as a team to overcome obstacles that seem impossible to beat. This is also when people started to notice that Cypher just dies for no reason. In the post-credit scene, Max Bots shoots him, which is quite funny because this does nothing for the lore of the game, except establish the status quo that Cypher must die. However, in the Nothing Stays Hidden card is a reference to when Cypher had his moment to finally shoot back and not die in a cinematic trailer. The Reckoning trailer to be specific. To be fair, it is his stomping grounds. In the hit list card, we see Cypher as well as Omen, Sova, and ISO. This is most likely a Scion's phone who has been charged with hunting these agents down. Talk about being unlucky. Good luck taking any of these guys down. Past the Sticks is also when Cypher and the rest of the protocol, who would have a hard time socializing in broad daylight, spent time together playing Knockout, fighting game, part of the Radiant Entertainment system. Before we go over the other player cards, did you know that Cypher and the rest of the protocol have a music playlist? And out of the ones that I've been listening to, these have been my favorites. I was basically listening to this whole playlist while writing the script for this video. It seems that these artists are Cypher's favorites, seeing how they appear the most. But getting back to player cards, one of my favorite is the Spike Showdown, where two Cyphers pull off that Spider-Man meme. If Valorant ever does a TV show or movie, we need something like this in it. At least referenced once. There's a couple of player cards that highlight all these Sentinels, one where Cypher is helping them, and another where he is caught by their traps. The doodle bug shows Cypher with a magnifying glass looking at something, while the eyes up player card has his spy cam in selfie mode. And I'm pretty sure most Cypher mains have used their spy cam as a selfie too. Cypher also decided to strike some cool poses in the Fortune Hand, the Hermit, and Unstoppable player cards. Him and ISO joins hands in the 2024 Give Back player card as well. This bundle had the Ion Sheriff, Reaver Spectre, Oni Phantom, and Reaver Op. Riot was able to raise over 3.5 million towards their social impact fund. We see Cypher hard at work in the night shift and not a Pete player card. And we also see that he does some shopping too. I guess you could say that Cypher is a little bit disappointed in the Up in Arms card. I guess him and some of the agents may have made a bet where Raze and Jet seem to be winning while Cypher and Sage might be losing. Agents betting on themselves is something that we've seen them do in the warm-up cinematic too. However, one thing that we haven't seen the agents in a lore cinematic is being drawn in an anime style. The closest that we have is the Valorant Gold cards. I won't spend too long on each spray, but I think Cypher has the best collection of them. Each one is playful, like the Sentinel Slide and Keep It Cool, which reminds me of Sakura from Naruto, who had an alter ego. A Terrible Day for Rain is another reference to an anime called Full Metal Alchemist. The Here I Am one is a John Wick reference, which in my opinion we definitely need an ISO version of. The Keeping Secret might be an Easter egg to the voice line between KJ and Cypher.
Cypher, can you show me around the dark web one of these days?
Oh dear, no, sweetheart. We must protect you.
Just Business must mean Cypher had a stonk moment, and it's the only cosmetic where Cypher is bald too. Or at least without his hat, I should say. We also get to see his spy cam transform into selfie mode again in All Aboard. And I have to be honest, Guess That's It is one of my favorites too. The scheming and always watching shows Cypher in his natural habitat of just being a creep. I'm kind of upset that I'll probably never get the Without a Trace spray either. We also have 3 gun buddies of Cypher. I wonder if Omen made this one, seeing how it's been knitted, or at least crocheted. I don't really know the difference between the two. We also see Cypher on weapon skins like the Doodlebug, Marshall, the Valorant Gold Guardian, and the Immortalized Sheriff. Also, did you know that Cypher was the first agent to be featured in the range as an animated character model? This was when Cypher's office used to be used as a means to reveal lore-related audio logs. Oh yeah, I can't forget about the Sova vs Cypher player card, which shows pretty awesome imagery. You see a Cypher statue in the middle, but a massive Sova eye watching it. It kind of reminds us that both Cypher and Sova are great at tracking people, and both have blue eyes that watches them. Well, technically Cypher uses blue lenses, and Sova has an artificial one. Both are still blue though. Regardless, Sova isn't the biggest fan of Cypher's means of gathering intel. In fact, Cypher is one of the few agents Sova seems to dislike.
Goodbye, Cypher. You will not be missed.
Sova, I accessed your background file. A good story. But that's not really how you lost your eye.
And your file is missing, Amir. Explain that.
But on the flip side, Cypher is truly a carefree guy. He doesn't openly dislike anyone on the protocol. Maybe it's because the protocol truly feels like a family to him. However, some on the team are tired of his shenanigans.
Cypher, stop bugging my gear with microphones. You're worse than Interpol.
Cypher, you keep eyeing my hardware. Don't.
Cypher, my condenser cables are missing from the lab again. Put them back, please. Thank you.
Cypher, I am not kidding. If you take my picture, I will fry that thing. Just try me.
No more meddling.
Stop snooping.
I don't like your toy, Cypher. Don't spy on me.
That Cypher is a dead man.
Despite this, Cypher has a knack for reading people. He was a strong advocate for letting Fade onto the team, even though many didn't want her. It's easy to tell the two share mutual respect for each other.
You have such a way with information, Cypher. After this, let's trade notes.
Plus, he fully trusted ISO despite knowing his past and task at taking out Omen, which turned out to be the right call, because Omen was able to find out more about his past through ISO. In a way, I guess you can say that Cypher is a really good judge of character, and can read people pretty well. Chamber, on the other hand, is wary of Cypher, always wondering how much he knows of his past.
Be careful with my secrets, Cypher. It is better, I think, if we stay friends.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Cypher already knows that Chamber was a part of Fracture blowing up. And if we look past Cypher's bad habit of permanently borrowing people's stuff, him and KJ get along quite well.
Let's go, little engineer.
Cypher, let's keep sharing information. Every data point helps. I didn't realize we had 2 geniuses on the team.
Him and Phoenix are also friendly with each other too. and have sessions of playing chess quite often like we mentioned beforehand.
Remember fam, winning takes sacrifice. Right, Cypher? Sacrifice? Like chess? Our chess game? Come on, I know you got it.
Cypher does take great interest in Sage and her ability to revive people from the dead.
So, Sage, you can bring people back from the dead? Anyone? No constraints? Interesting.
This really adds more support to the idea that Cypher's family may no longer be in the land of the living. Astra also sees Cypher in a good light, but considers him a bit too stubborn.
Cypher, your head is too hard. I like you, but expand your personality. Why?
Clove does like Cypher's approach to the job, seeing how he's one of the few people on the protocol trying to keep this secret organization, well, you know, secret.
You know, we're a covert organization. Shouldn't we be wearing masks? Cypher's got the right idea.
Raze also doesn't seem too bothered about Cypher always snooping.
That Cypher wants to watch us? Let him. We don't hide.
However, it seems that Raze may be the only one in the protocol who gives Cypher a little bit of his own medicine when it comes to messing with people's gear.
Raze, don't tinker with my gadgets. I don't need exploding cameras again. The cleanup was so messy.
And Sky doesn't have any negative things to say about Cypher. To be fair, she may not have anything that he wants since her creatures aren't tech-based. Viper and Vice, like many others on the team, want some intel from him. However, Vice might go to more extreme measures to get it.
Cypher, you collect information. Tell me, what are their dreams? What do they fear?
Their Cypher will share his knowledge with me, even if I have to prise it out of him.
So now the question is, what's next for Valorant's favorite rat? Riot has hinted that Cypher's true identity will be revealed in the future. Considering it's been nearly 4 years since they said that, we're due for some answers. Answers that will also shed light on his family's fate, but only time will tell. What is certain though is that Cypher is an irreplaceable part of the Valorant protocol. Love him or hate him, the team wouldn't be the same without him. And I'm sure when his secrets are revealed, it will shock us all. And when that does happen, best believe I'll let you guys know about it. So till then, stay safe, be a KDA warrior, and I'll see you later.